Reddit, humans f yeah. On the 3 defining traits of humans and a brief historical overview of the war against the sleepers. Posted by user Sunjin.
The general consensus of humanity was that they were nothing special. For 300 years they had been a part of intergalactic society, and at this point, they had spread everywhere. Whenever there was a scientific breakthrough, whenever war was fought, whenever politics shifted, whenever anything happened, there was always a human there. Humanity seemed to have their 2 defining features being a high birth rate and a broad variance in their interests and skills. These 2 traits meant they were everywhere, but they were rarely anything truly outstanding. Compared to other species, their warriors, their soldiers were found to be truly lacking in everything except perhaps marksmanship and courage. Any undertaking seemed to invariably involve humans, but rarely did they truly excel compared to other species. Then the sleepers awoke, and we learned that humanity had a 3rd trait. The sleepers awoke, and any who so much as gazed upon them had their minds shattered. Even the mightiest of Karlig warriors, bristling with spines and capable of frankly unfair feats of strength, speed, and ignoring mortal wounds, were laid low in seconds. The warriors who never froze could move nary a bristle as they were cut down by the semi-tangible metallic tentacles of the sleepers. Whole hive mind species were killed in moments as a single one of them gazed at the sleepers. The hive mind lived, technically, but would never move again, and would starve to death sooner or later. Even the most psionically powerful species, who in their arrogance thought themselves immune to any mind-altering powers, were turned to frothing madmen, killing anyone near them once they met the sleepers. The only ones who stood a chance were the humans. Early reports showed that 3 out of 10 would become catatonic, but that the rest could shrug off the effects. Humanity held every advantage over the others, but their leaders voted to stand at the front without demanding anything from any other species except support and materials. They demanded no tithes or rewards. For 60 years the war against the sleepers was waged. Estimates suggest that half of all sapient life in the galaxy was slain, several species extinct. Humanity, having borne the brunt of the impact, lost roughly 80% of its total population. They were our bulwark against the terror. They stood tall in front of those who had been even their greatest detractors previously. I once asked a human soldier who had retired after the war against the sleepers why they defended the Chidionians, despite knowing full well that had the roles been reversed they would not have enjoyed the same privilege. He shrugged and said simply, it was the right thing to do. Once the war was over, the sleepers defeated, the true cost became clear. Humans could not withstand the effects, merely delay them through a process they called compartmentalization. The human populace dwindled further until they were a rare sight in even the largest megacity. What happened next gave me hope, even after the horrors of the war. Humanity, which had bled to keep the rest of us safe, were given all the resources they could possibly need to rebuild. They were granted safe haven wherever they went, and anyone who picked a fight with them would find themselves facing the full wrath of the Council. The Council was often petty, power-hungry, disdainful assholes who cared not one bit for the average Joe, in my humble opinion. But this time they turned their inability to forget, usually reserved for any slight against them, towards being grateful. The Council never forgets was the old adage, but for once they were willing to forget all the slights of humanity prior to the sleepers. They, with the backing of essentially the entire global community, raised humanity back to its prior heights. The 3rd trait of humanity had been discovered, though it was significantly more ephemeral compared to their other, more easily defined traits. A capacity to stare at the horrors which drove others to madness and move forward, perhaps. Some might argue that it was something as base as being better at compartmentalizing than other species. Perhaps this contains a grain of truth, but it is scarcely the full picture. Through the camera equipment, I had gazed at humans fighting our war for us for 36 years. I was part of the operational command, for I could not fight on the battlefield. For 36 years of the war, I witnessed thousands of humans. Despite their states of missing limbs, they would still fight. I've watched more times than I care to count a soldier missing over a third of their body, and with no weapon besides their trusty entrenchment shovel charge towards the horror. Compartmentalization was a part of the puzzle, yes. The whole picture? Far from it. The cynical would always doubt humanity, but those of us who remembered, we saw humanity in a new light. A bulwark against the terror, they would stare straight into it and charge a creature the size of a building with an entrenching shovel held in the one arm they still had. Humanity was no longer them. Humanity became a part of us. Humanity would never again find themselves without a safe haven or support. The Council would remember. The Council will remember.